All right. Automation Nation, Inside Barnum podcast with an automation trailer special episode. We're on site on the automation trailer. We're not in the studio today. And we thought it would be pretty cool to actually show off what everyone's been working on for a long time. And I'm here with Mr. Scott Tessier, who did the original episode 1 podcast with us and is the driver and manager of the automation trailer.
Veteran podcaster.
Yep. So, Scott, if you want to give a little recap on who you are and what your position here is at Barnum.
Sure. My name is Scott Tessier. I am application specialist. I like the title, I just drive a trailer now, or I just drive a truck, I think is the way we go now. So anybody asks me a question, I'm like, I don't know. I just drive a truck. But so application specialist, I've been here for almost 30 years. And just help run the trailer and facilitate conversations on this trailer.
And how did the trailer job fall into your lap, really?
Well, so we've been doing this trailer. We've been running on the trailer I've been on this trailer for 6 years now. I think it's about 6 years. And sometimes it's hard to schedule people to be on the trailer because it moves around so much. And scheduling was becoming a little tedious, I think, for management. And they had the idea that they were going to hire a truck driver just to drive the truck around, and then we as application specialists would just join the trailer wherever the truck made it. And we thought it'd be a good idea just to have, since I have my CDL and I can drive the truck and we can talk shop, that this would be a great full-time position. And so that's what I do. I just take this truck and trailer around the country and I stop and open the doors and let customers in, and we just have some fun conversations over new products, existing products, also just helping solve problems. Really, that's what the trailer's made for.
And this trailer, this specific one, it's not brand new. We've had it for a couple of years now. How long has this one actually been on the road? Do we know?
Since 2020.
2020?
2020 is when we commissioned this trailer.
And then every year this thing gets a bit of an overhaul. New things are on it, changed up.
New products every year.
Just from, me looking at it from last year to this year, there's been quite a chunk of stuff swapped. Usually there's a little bit here and there that you do to show people some new stuff, but it seems like we did a lot on this one.
I think we're guessing there's probably about 30% new content on the trailer this year. From our brand new motion board, which is really exciting. It shows off a lot of our mechanical products as well as just motion in general. Just a great motion application.
So for people listening and watching, even salesmen listening or watching, they can feel confident that if they want to bring this to a customer that maybe they already brought it to, they're going to experience something new.
Absolutely.
Or if a customer says, well, I've already had the trailer there, they're probably, it's worthwhile seeing it.
We get that question all the time. Oh, I've seen it before. What's new? It's like there's quite a bit of new product on this trailer this year. SMC, our SMC boards have all been redone. Just beautiful boards. Added additional safety product.
See all that blue behind us? I mean, the SMC is going to be a nice little spotlight.
Our Contronex board as well. New sensor board from Contronex as well as Temposonic. Just really nice product. Also showcasing some linear rail from PBC. That's a new one that we also have on the trailer this year as well. Modifications to Zimmer. Lots of new banner products as well. Some new sensors. Some new interfaces in terms of their data collection, or what they call their snap signal product. Lots of new product there as well.
A lot of safety stuff on here now. That didn't seem like that used to be as big of a priority. And now we got a lot of options for that, and there's a lot to look at on the safety side.
Yeah, we have the safety blocks from Lumberg, some really nice demos that we're showcasing on the trailer as well, showcasing how all of our product lines can go right into that type of safety device. So it's not product specific or brand specific. We can now mix and match, and we have solutions for a lot of that.
So, running with you on the trailer, you are the main person that does this all summer round. Actually, we say spring, summer, and fall. We've increased that quite a bit.
Yeah, we're up to 8 months.
Like, just for people who've never experienced this trailer before, like, what is the average day, and say even week, for you on this thing?
Yeah. So it generally starts, I would say we hit the trailer about 6 o'clock, fuel up, and then by 8 o'clock, we're usually at our first customer.
Do you travel to the region usually ahead of time?
Absolutely. So like right now, our very first week, we start in Tennessee. We're going to be starting just outside of Nashville, and we'll be working our way south, and then we're going to work our way into Alabama, for example. But we'll stay in a region for a week and give the salesman the opportunity to hit as many customers as we can during that time frame. On a day, generally speaking, 4 to 5 customers is what we aim to see. Giving each one an hour to an hour and a half of our time, and just letting them have the ability to spend some time on the trailer, because if we just come in and it's very quick, it really doesn't do justice to what the trailer can do for our customers. So 4 to 5 calls a day, and 4 to 5 days a week.
So then you don't park this at a regional office or anything like that. It's usually following you around to hotels or wherever you can fit it.
And anywhere I can fit it, exactly. Yeah. I have a nice little list of all the hotels that can actually hold this long 46-foot trailer. So
that's really handy. Just having it right off the bat. I know I've been to this one before. We're going to use it again instead of who knows where. Even if it's maybe a little bit of a drive in the morning to your first stop, it's better to know I can fit this thing somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. There's some great hotels out there that have great space for me, and I will make sure I go out of my way to stay there just for ease of use. Absolutely.
How big is this actually? We're talking about the size.
Yep.
Overall, big thing.
Yes, this is a 46-foot long 3-axle trailer, and it has a 5th wheel on it, and I think we're coming in somewhere around 15,000 pounds. I think I take that back. I think we're closer to 19,000 pounds.
So
right
it is literally a small semi truck.
Yeah.
When it comes to sheer size.
Yeah, the next size up is a semi. That is our next. That would be the next venture, is to actually get a semi. Yeah.
So this season, I think, is probably going to be the longest season with a trailer, right?
Yes.
So last season, they're getting longer and longer. So last season was the longest prior to all the others.
Correct. Yeah.
Last season, approximately how many miles did you put on this thing going all over the place?
So we put on 30,000 miles, almost to the number. We came in at like 29,980. So we were very close to 30,000 miles.
And so we added probably, another 4 weeks worth of travel on this summer. So we're going to get even further.
Yeah, we're thinking we're probably going to hit somewhere between 35 and 40,000 miles. Yeah.
Out of all that, out of the 30,000 miles worth of running around, like, what do you have kind of a region or any stops that are just like your favorite areas to go, that are just the coolest to bring this?
I gotta tell you, Tennessee is fantastic. Tennessee and Alabama, the calls are fantastic. We're new to the area too, so when we open up the doors, no one has ever seen this before.
It's not as much, oh, there's Barnum again. What is that?
Yeah, oh my gosh, look at the size of that trailer. And oh my God, did you see all the stuff inside there? That type of, those are the conversations that we end up hearing.
It kind of sounds like down there isn't as many distributors of our caliber that do this type of thing. So it is kind of new to those people down there to see that.
Yeah, we haven't seen anyone else with a trailer like this. And some of the suppliers like Banner and Widemeal, they have vans that go around, and they're super helpful, and we love to coordinate with them too, where we'll pull up and Widemealer will be with us or Banner will be with us, and it makes it even more special than just having this
because
here.
their offerings are so large, you could easily fill this whole trailer with just Widemealer stuff or just Banner stuff.
Exactly.
So it's nice to expand on it a little bit for sure. In those travels too, what's like, I guess, the strangest or most unexpected place you probably brought this thing? Like, you guys ever rolled up to a NFL game or something with something really weird that just like stands out?
One of the strangest ones was one of our salesmen, Zane, his customer, they had a remote office in a shopping complex. And it was like one of those really nice shopping complexes, brick
outdoor mall style.
Yeah, outdoor mall style. Nice. And very nice, very bougie, and fountains and all that. And here's this big 46-foot trailer taking up 8 parking spots right in front of all these different shops. And it made for some really nice pictures, because it was sitting right in front of a coffee shop and a pizzeria, and then there we are.
Navigating that had been pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was a little tense, but it worked out. So that was probably the one that always comes to mind, is that, because it was like just a beautiful setting. We got lots of nice pictures that looked really nice.
I mean, I guess going back to the trailer itself too, instead of just the travel, the trailer, I mean, obviously all the stuff in it, Is there anything the trailer itself features or anything that really makes this thing unique that everyone likes to flaunt about it too? I know we got like automated retracting awnings on it. We got big speaker system on it. Is there anything that like really cool too that's just kind of special?
When we show up and we have a trailer with 3 axles, like that really, it's an attention getter.
I mean, shout out to the marketing department too, skinning this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys will obviously see the pictures of it. You see it on the road. You can see some of the colors in here. The exterior of this thing is a giant billboard
it's just a
on
billboard.
its own.
It's beautiful too. Just really well done. The marketing department did just A+ job on it. A+.
I think we already kind of touched on who's all on the board, kind of all the different suppliers and stuff. Anyone new on it? I think we said Contradex and Tempasonics is new on the board this year.
Yep, Contradex and Tempasonics. So now we have sensors, basic sensors, high temperature, stainless, and they're all IO-Link too. So we have lots of IO-Link devices. I mean, that's really still the showcase of this trailer.
Yeah, everything kind of
IO-Link compatibility. So when we're talking any product on the trailer, if it's on the trailer, we most likely have a version of it that is IO-Link and that we can actually, integrate into the IO-Link interface.
We got wireless communications. I mean, name it, it's on here. And everything that we see on here is something Barnum sells, right? So even our LED lights above us, the aluminum structure,
The basket tray.
I mean, really the only thing is the raw trailer itself wasn't something that came from us, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we from the ground up. This was originally Tony Grix. That was his idea, his brainchild to build the entire interior structure out of extruded aluminum, and just the way it was designed initially, even before I got involved, just awesome. Tony did such a great job on it, and we still, to this day, even after all these years, we're still implementing his original structure, and we're basically everything still works into that exact same structure that he built up. So he did a great job on that.
I mean, not to even push my own buttons here. I designed this whole darn structure in SolidWorks originally, based on Tony's ideas.
Exactly.
And I mean, that was fun. The trailer company sent us a 3D model of the shell and said, here you go, have fun with it. And I mean, we made a full 3D working model of it so we could make sure it was perfect before we built and cut and all that, which is
that's
really cool.
That is actually a great point, is because it's not just Tony and you. Obviously you did the SolidWorks, but you've also done programming on this trailer, right? You helped design the motion board. The motion board has been like 99% you in terms of that's your brainchild and your design. There's so many people behind the scenes that are making this thing happen.
I mean, all of our applications group is involved in some way, whether it's programming, designing, changing screens, I mean, even helping with wiring. We got our lab and our lab technicians physically putting everything together, product managers securing parts and telling us how they want it organized to look well. Right. Marketing, obviously, making this thing look as pretty as it does.
Yeah, even purchasing. I mean, I have had so many orders with purchasing, and Vanessa, if you watch this, you are amazing and you did a great job, and I appreciate all your hard work and making sure I got all my product in a timely fashion, because I probably annoyed you.
I mean, also, with just that alone, there's so much that, buying, but also reaching out to the suppliers and seeing if they can donate stuff for this too, because it's a showcase of their stuff at the end of the day. So purchasing alone, making sure we can use demo dollars or whatnot for this, making it as cost effective as possible too. Because I mean, the investment in this, just by someone walking on it, visually looking at it, you could tell there's quite an investment.
This is a very, very large investment. I don't know what the numbers are, and I would shudder to know what the numbers are myself.
I don't know if it's a flaunt point or a scare point if we would tell people how much this whole thing probably costs.
Yeah, very true.
Is there anything in the industry when we bring this out that's kind of, a trend that's exciting that this kind of helps showcase, currently? Obviously we talked about the IO-Link stuff, but is there anything other that's kind of new or exciting that?
Well, I think IO-Link is still trending really hard. I think IO-Link is still I think for several years to come, I think IO-Link is still going to be a major talking point, especially down south. I think that's we have great opportunities, and I think just getting the word out on IO-Link, it's becoming mainstream, and we promote it heavily. But also the safety side of it, the devices and how safety is becoming integrated into the networking, and now we have to run less cables, and there's less physical wiring and less labor that goes into machinery now. I think there's a huge conversation that goes around that, whether it's in the machine building aspect, material handling, anything for that matter. But so we really see it to the machine builders, and especially the machine builders down south, as IO-Link is still a very prevalent conversation. Right. Some other trends that we're seeing, like I said, SIP safety and just safety over Ethernet. That's another great one that most people aren't into yet, but are getting into. Like that's a
It
really
seemed
big
like that was just certain markets kind of had a stranglehold on that.
Yeah.
And now it's expanding. It's pretty brand independent, and everyone's kind of getting involved with that, like you said, either cable savings or just being able to monitor things on the network. And people are excited as let's actually bring technology into our machines instead of it just being whatever, a relay or whatnot that they're used to.
Yeah. Another one that we're starting to see a little uptick in, and it's not big yet, but we're starting to see it, is power over Ethernet. Devices that just run off of an Ethernet cable. That in itself is it lends itself to some really nice, unique applications. Anything that's portable, for example, where all you want to do is be able to plug it into a wall. You can now decentralize, or less components, less hardware on your system. You can now run devices over Ethernet, and again, cable savings, time savings. It's right there for a lot of our customers.
What about speaking of like the Ethernet now, that IoT, internet, data logging, things like that? I mean, do we have any of that on the trailer?
We absolutely do. Yeah, we actually now have a 30, or I think 32-inch PC,
ultra wide screen.
Yeah, ultra wide PC up there that's actually showing data from the trailer, from power supplies to drives, temp and vibration. We're now able to gather that data and display it. And I think that's a really nice conversation that we are also seeing a large uptick in that as well. And just to go along with that same thing, because things are becoming more network centric, now you need better, more robust network switches and network devices. So we're moving or trending away from traditional unmanaged switches to managed switches, where again, we have diagnostics, right? We have the ability to control traffic. And again, because all these devices are going onto that same network now, we now have the ability to be a traffic cop, or basically control the flow of that traffic, so it's actually a little bit more advantageous for the customers.
Or view it, display it up on the cloud, up on someone's phone, whenever they want.
Absolutely.
You don't need to, get an engineer to get into your PLC to see what's going on. You can get a text message now if your machine's down, things like that.
We're starting to show that up even with Wine Tech, for example, because Wine Tech is one of our HMI brands, and we can now take that data and we can bring it to an HMI for visualization. But that same HMI has the ability to offboard that data to a text message, to an alarm, to a beacon. We have all sorts of methods that we can now get more data readily available at our fingertips. I think that's really where we're seeing the industry go, right? Ease of data usage. How are we going to be able to get at that data, especially the data that pertains to me, myself, not the company, but as a maintenance guy or as an engineer or as an operator, how do I get that data more readily available?
It's not just locked now. With all this new stuff, all this, you are personally dealing with the newer technology that Barnum distributes and our suppliers. How do you keep tabs on it all, or keep educated on it? Or does it just kind of come as you have suppliers on the trailer and they're giving you the information and just open conversation with customers? Or are you sitting in the hotel at night reading data sheets and trying to keep up on this stuff?
I am, be honest, I am not sitting in the hotel reading the data sheet. That is not in my book.
I would hope not.
But I will be, like, having suppliers on the trailer with us, it's so valuable. I've learned so much from the guys at Zimmer, just in terms of how their tool changers work, all the gotchas with their tool changers, or IO-Link grippers, right? That's a real big one. And just how they play into the market and how they see themselves wedging themselves into that market space is already predominantly owned by someone else, for example. The guys from Banner. I learned so much from the Banner guys on there when they're like, oh, you can do this also. And you're just like,
you're getting mini
really?
trainings just every conversation, basically.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to just formally update yourself with all of this because it comes as you're on here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of, having people on the trailer, suppliers are usually on here, things like that. When people come, is there anything that you do to help entice people onto the trailer?
Oh,
any special events? Sure.
Like I would have to say, since we've started our Traeger grill giveaway, that's a great enticement. You just scan the QR code, name, email address, and you're in on the raffle. That's really exciting for customers. That really helps bring them on board. We also have great giveaways on the trailer. We have, in terms of our new motion board, which we'll have videos of that coming out soon, but there's a gold pen. So there's like a randomized gold pen that you can win. It's kind of cool. Not real gold, so don't think it is, but it actually looks really nice. It's a very nice pen that you can actually win through our motion board demo. Paper. We got all these great new hats from Richardson.
Maybe if you have way too many pens in your pocket, you can swap the pen for a hat or something.
That is true, right? If you get a gold pen, come give it to me, and I'll give you a koozie or something. I don't know. But yeah, so we have that type of thing. But for the most part, everyone is genuinely interested.
You don't have to drag people out.
We don't have to drag people out. No. When they see this thing, and generally the salesmen do a great job of having some snacks, some donuts out there for them, or if it's lunchtime, we have usually a lunch for someone, but that also helps. But generally, just opening the doors and them seeing the lights inside really makes the moment for them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, being on the road with this thing all summer, all year, when you roll up to a stop, usually you setting this up, maybe the salesman helps out, maybe the supplier helps out. How long does it take? Like, obviously this thing has been optimized with some automation in here to help set things up. But like when you roll up, let's say 7:30 and it starts at 8. What time in there does it take you that full half hour to get set up?
No, it takes we have it down to about 8 minutes.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and for the most part, it's usually me fumbling with the locks on the doors. Usually that takes the longest. So as soon as it's on, we turn on the generator, and then basically we power it up, and then just put out some giveaways, and we're ready.
You ever roll up to a customer and something just doesn't work, like generator doesn't power up or something like catastrophic? You're just like, oh crap.
The funniest, at the very end of the season last year, we were on our last day of calls. Our generator died. The fan.
That's impressive that it held out.
Yeah. The very last day, we had 2 calls left, and right in the middle of our second to last call, the generator died. Turns out the fan blade broke and just destroyed a bunch of stuff, and we were out of a cooling system.
The generator's got to put a lot of hours in, I would assume. Do you get it serviced halfway through the year?
Yeah, absolutely. We're at 6,500 hours on the generator right now, which, talking to the generator people, they're like, oh, this thing's just warming up. Like, so they're not concerned about the age of it or anything. They think it's doing great, and our service maintains that twice a year. It goes in, oil change, get everything cleaned up and taken care of. There's a lot of preventative maintenance that goes into this trailer.
Even with all that preventative maintenance, have you ever had anything that like pretty big happen to it too? Like brake-wise on the trailer, something fall off that actually took you out for a day, or you couldn't go to some stops because of it?
That one didn't happen to me, but we did have an axle seize up once, right? We actually had the full axle seize up where we needed not just a tire, we needed an entire axle. That took us off for a week. That took us off the road for a week. Other than that,
do those stops usually get rescheduled, or is it just kind of like we're so busy, or maybe we'll see you next year?
Yeah, if it works that way, if we can reschedule, we will. If not, we'll see them next year. We'll try.
Things happen.
Always, things always happen. Yeah, you gotta be ready.
Otherwise, the truck that pulls this has been doing great. You never really had any issues with that.
Nothing. Yeah, we just got new brakes on that guy too. Just part of the preventive maintenance. New tires last year, new brakes, and it obviously goes through its oil changes religiously and gets all that done too. So it's we try to maintain it as best we can, and we just actually installed a tire monitoring system on the trailer this year too. So that way, now we know that our tires are always at the proper pressure,
nice.
regardless.
Actually, yeah, because going back, the literal inaugural trip of this trailer, the first ever trip, I got thrown into driving it because I was the only person that had our CDL. For some reason, I was able to get it early, and I drove this thing down to Cincinnati, and literally that first day, we had a tire blow, and we never knew. Because there's how many tires on this? There's six tires in the back, and we never knew. The trailer's handling fine. It was like a center tire. We never knew until one of our product managers could tell something was kind of up, and he pulled up alongside of me and waved me down. And we were like, well, I would have never known until we got to the next stop, and that thing could have been shredded and really took us out. And thankfully, we were able to, get some help and swap the spare. But that new pressure monitoring system would be really nice.
Yes. So you got that on there. And speaking of that too, even last year, someone was coming on an entrance ramp and bumped into the truck, bumped into where the dual wheels are on the truck, and
Pretty hard to bump into something the size of
he's like, I don't know how he missed us, but the funny thing was, I barely felt it. The only reason I took note was I heard it, and he's going squirrely all over the road, but the truck and trailer did not budge. Like there was no vibration hitting me there. I said I felt something. It's so big.
It's like one of those videos where you see like the big lineman and the little wide receiver smacks him and just doesn't even
falls
move.
over. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was going all over the road, and I'm just like, oh, somebody hit me. Yeah.
No, I'm glad this thing has been pretty routinely good to you guys and serviced well and no issues, and it's been a constant that everyone can expect it, and and it's a team effort to get it rolling, and everyone knows when it's time to get this thing on the road, it's all hands on deck. Other things can wait a week or two, things like that. Like, it is that important to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. We were in this year too. We've done really well. We're actually, as opposed to previous years, we are ahead of schedule. Like we're pretty much done. We're ready. Like if we want to, we close the doors and go out right now. Everything's ready. We're at that point in time. We're generally speaking, like the weekend before we leave, we're
Someone's
still
chasing you down to the parking lot, plugging in
on the trailer. Yeah, no, we're with this time we got it all set up, and everyone's doing great. And like I said, just the amount of support from management all the way down to like just the departments, everybody has been super helpful. Super helpful. It's been a pleasure this year. It really has.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to shout out to our Inside Apps leader, Steve Vargo.
Steve Vargo. Oh my gosh.
Programming the heck out of the PLCs and getting a lot of this work in, just because, I mean, his brain is invaluable when it comes to a lot of this technology too.
Yeah, we are really blessed with Steve, because that guy, he knows his stuff when it comes to PLCs and controls. He's just amazing.
Instead of fumbling over it, just put the master on it. Just let it go.
Yeah. Randy Schaefer too. He's really doing well. Tony Grix, who did the he was out here programming this week too. Yeah.
Jim Siri.
Yeah, Jim Siri's out here.
I mean, we
had almost everybody out here.
Out here programming. Yeah. And it looks good. Everything's functioning good. Yeah. Very few error lights.
Yeah, I don't think we have any error lights right now, so I think
everything's looking really good. I guess kind of in a little closure here for us, like, what overall is your favorite part of this? Day to day, do you have a favorite, or is it just the whole thing?
No, I honestly, I absolutely love it when we see our smaller customers who don't typically get, traction because they're not the largest purchaser, or they don't have the largest volume in sales, so sometimes they don't get as much attention from other suppliers or any of their other distributors. Right? When we can pull up and they come out and we can just talk shop and there's 5 guys, those are the moments I remember the most, because you can just see light bulbs clicking and the excitement and oh my gosh, I didn't know we could do it this way. And when you
what do you mean you guys carry that too? I could have been buying this from you.
Oh, absolutely. And it is that is the part I always look forward to, is the excitement from the customer when they see that we're here to help. Like the value added aspect of H.H. Barnum Company is really what separates us from everybody else, the value added side. When we can talk shop, when the guy who drives the truck can actually show you how a manifold works or how a gripper works, and we can demonstrate it, and we can lead to that follow-up call, and we can try things for them. And the relationship building that this trailer gives to our salesmen, I think is invaluable. I really do. That's the part I look forward to the most.
I think you saying that too, that your favorite part is actually inclusive with what you're doing on this job, speaks volumes of how fun and beneficial this is. I mean, you could have easily told me the best part about this job is the cool places I get to stop, and on the weekends I get to go do this and that when I'm over in the Smoky Mountains or something like that. Like, obviously it's a cool little perk when you're on the road, but when you can actually say the coolest part about it is the job, is awesome.
It is an absolute blast. It is. It really is. And I said, our customers, we have a great customer base, and it's just exciting to work with them, especially when they're set in a specific way of doing something, and you just enlighten them that, hey, maybe there's a better way. And whether they take traction on it that moment, but the seeds have been planted, and down the road it may lead to something where they're like, okay, hey, I remember you talking to me about that, I want to try doing it a different way this time.
Now, if someone else was to ever kind of take over this role for you, let's say, I'm just not going to do it forever, you'd like to retire in the future.
I'd love to retire in the future. That'd be fun.
Little piece of advice for anybody that would take this on, like, that you've learned over the last 2 years of doing this full time. Like, if you had to say, I learned this the hard way, I just, what would be that little work?
You have to listen to the customer. Initially, when we started doing this, we were doing show and tells. Hey, check out this board, this board, this board. We're just running,
just walk them through,
show them everything. Customers generally don't need that. Customers really, sometimes they're looking for something, and you just have to listen.
After a few minutes of showing, they're just kind of
arms crossed, nodding the head. But you just have to listen. Right? That's really that's the big key to this, is that you really have to listen and just be willing to wait and just let them experience it. Don't push the experience on them. Let them experience the trailer and see where they're looking and see what they're engaged with, and then ask a question. But we don't need to show them everything. Some people, like, if I'm talking to a controls guy, he really doesn't need to see how an actuator works on the inside. He just needs to know what bits turn it on and off. He doesn't care about anything else. So don't give them that. Just take the time and listen to what the customers need.
I've noticed that the few times, I've been on there, my kind of technique would always be just kind of hover in the corner and watch. And if I can tell someone is super interested in something, or maybe they're discussing with a coworker about something, then I kind of approach and get them a conversation going, versus just like, did you see this? Did you see that? Overwhelming them with random stuff. But just kind of monitoring how people are interacting with things.
Exactly.
And then engage with them versus...
Engage at their level instead of, like I said, we can do a show and tell in the trailer. And some customers want a show and tell.
Yeah.
No problem. I can talk every single device on this trailer, and we'll go from A to Z. I'm all good. I love to hear my own voice. But at the same point in time, most don't want that. Most really have specific things that they're looking for, or again, maybe there's something that they're working on that maybe we can help with, but we just have to be able to listen.
And talking about show and tell, this isn't just a show. People can play with this stuff, right?
Absolutely.
All this on here, people can get their hands in it, push buttons. It is not to step back and be cautious, like actually try to get this stuff to work.
Absolutely, correct? So almost every board has interaction to it. There's safety-wise, we have interlocks. You can unlock doors, and you can test door locks, things like that.
We got this golf ball press.
The golf ball press. I mean, even behind you, like even the AMS from SMC, right? The air management system, fully working, fully operational. We have vacuum on here now too.
Yeah, we got the hickey giving machine. If someone wants to stick that on them, probably don't. Please.
You don't, because it will leave a mark. I promise you, it will leave a mark. So, but even like on the banner board, all the lighting, everything's interactive, and it really helps out. Awesome. This is one bright trailer too. Like, there's a lot of lighting in here.
Even when you get people that aren't very technical, like let's say you get an operator come in, the first thing that we see is like, oh, look at all the lights. It's like a disco in here.
Yeah, absolutely. One day we should probably do that. We should probably turn this where we could actually make it into like some type of crazy DJ rave where all the lights change
color.
Everything
down. Have a special sequence of buttons you can hit and it turns into party mode.
Exactly, party mode. Get some music going. It'd be very nice.
So when does this thing take off and where are you going? You said Tennessee is the first stop next week. Is that literally next week? Like
Literally next week. We
down there?
leave on Sunday the 16th. And our first call is on the 18th. So I'm taking 2 days to get down south. And like I said, I think we're starting just south of Nashville. And we'll continue to go south into Alabama. And then we'll kind of reach over into Georgia and then up into the Carolinas. And then we'll probably come home for a bit. And then we're going to be hitting basically the northern states. And that's just for this year. We already have plans for next year. We're going even further. So
do you get to, on those longer trips down south and stuff, do you get to come back? Are we Barnum flying you home, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. They take great care of me and my family. And it's really, really helpful because it is it's 8 months out on the road. And it's great that they give me the opportunity to spend time with my family and make sure that we're all on the same page because it's a little bit of a journey.
Yeah. Now, people who might want to see this, is there any like published schedule, or is it really just reach out to your Barnum rep and see where it is?
Reach out to your rep, absolutely, because they already have an idea of when it's going to be in their area, and if you just reach out to them, they'll let you know when it's going to be in that area, and they'll try to get you on the schedule. Absolutely.
I think there is almost like a request form on our website, isn't there too? Like if you can go to the Barnum website, there's a automation trailer page, and there is if you want to request it to come to you, you can fill something out and it'll make it to your sales representative eventually.
And also, just to take it even a step further than that, is like, if you're a school, right? We actually take this to schools now too. This would actually be really cool for a robotics engineers or robotics. STEMs groups at schools. This is a great one to show off, especially to an engineering group at a high school or at a college.
Actually, I saw this as an intern in college. I was interning at one of our customers in Northern Michigan, and the salesman Kirk brought this there, and he made it a point to tell us interns, you better come out and see that trailer. And it was awesome. I had a great time.
Absolutely.
It was actually really cool. That was a long time ago. That was at least a decade ago.
Oh my gosh.
That's
been that long.
So that means the trailer's been around for a while. I mean, obviously not this one. We said, what, 65 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years on this one? Then we had the old trailer before.
Yeah, the 36-footer, the shorty.
I think we got some exciting stuff this summer on this trailer, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool to see it out on the road and hear what people think of all the new additions. And, I'm sure we'll be hearing from you once people start really pushing some buttons and breaking stuff, we'll need to do some fixing. And maybe we programmed it good enough that no one's really going to break anything.
Yeah,
but
that's usually the first 1,000 miles. We'll find out what needs to be tightened up and shored up before the second month. But everything looks really good at the moment. I think we've done a great job in Dana, who added most of the components on here.
Shouted him out by name, but Dana did a great job. Shout out. He's the one turning the wrench on all of this in here.
Yeah. So he did a great job.
Because Scott's not here to oversee everybody in the winter. Since he drives this all summer, he takes vacation in the winter. Goes and does some fun stuff with the family.
That's right.
I think we can get that wrapped up. I think since we got a camera guy back over here on the other side, if we want to grab our camera guy, let's turn the camera at our pen machine real quick.
Sure.
And let's just get that roll and let's just show that little thing.
It's your machine. I'm gonna let you demo it.
I mean, I think it's just a kind of a neat little one. Scott was talking about this. It's an all-in-one kind of machine just to showcase a lot of the stuff we can do at once. And this has been like a year and a half in the making because we didn't want to put it on until it worked properly. But basically we got Zimmer tool changers with magazines full of pens. We got servo actuators. And really what we want to do is have it interactive so someone can come, answer some questions about Barnum, win a little pen, have some fun with it. And we got a question screen here, answer some questions about Barnum. I know all the answers to these. We got Barnum customer portal. We hit submit. We have a win. And I got myself a pen.
You didn't win the gold pen.
I didn't win the gold pen though. Now when all the pens are gone, this thing automatically will go over and swap out to a new full magazine of pens, which is also really cool to showcase. Some things our suppliers can do.
But even if you look at the board too, this is all IO link and Ethernet IP. Everyone's talking. I mean, everything to run all of these different axes is all done right here. It's such a nice, small, compact design right there. That's what makes it so impressive.
Well, Scott, thanks for sitting down with me and talking about this.
Absolutely,
I am really
man. It was fun.
excited for this thing to get on the road. I think everyone else is excited to see it on the road. And I guess we will see you guys next week on another Automation Nation podcast.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys see the trailer somewhere in Barnum's territory within the next couple months.
And also just keep your eyes out for all of our, basically I think we're going to be doing board by board demos. So you'll also be able to see those online as well. So
Probably on YouTube, LinkedIn, things like that.
I'm assuming, I don't know where they all go. I just get one in my inbox that says, this is what it looks like. I'm like, okay, good.
Maybe midsummer we'll have another little recap and see how everything's been going too.
Yeah. Maybe we do it in like the Carolinas.
Maybe.
I like that.
Alrighty. Thank you again. Talk to you guys later.